Yes.
You have a surprisingly strong voice for a vegan.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. I just wanted you to
It
know
begins already.
I was hoping that you guys had a bench out here and we could do some benching after this.
Yeah, it's not going to
that.
happen.
Oh, no, probably
Do the
can't.
carnivore versus.
I did that
vegan.
this morning. I benched about 470.
There you go. Well, you got me.
So the sergeant part, it's because you were in the military for
That's
a long
correct.
time?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, I was a
Respect,
sergeant.
Thank you for your service.
Okay.
Born.
Now, and you're big time vegan, and you run around the country promoting this. So
I think trying to defy the stereotype that vegans, are
are you?
frail human beings. Right?
Exactly. So the first thing that we're moving for is not necessarily trying to get everyone to go vegan, just to accept that, hey, everyone's had a vegan meal before. Everyone's at least had a banana or an apple.
Sure.
And then after that, hey, vegan options are everywhere. It's convenient. It's for everyone.
Patrick,
better for the planet.
who in the studio had a vegan meal this morning?
I knew this virtue signaling was going to happen.
Let's bring
I
it.
knew it.
Me,
Yeah.
Good job.
but only by accident.
Well, if donuts are vegan, I did too.
So
So
I want to ask you, Sergeant Vegan.
Sure.
And I'm not going to cast aspersions on you personally, but
Okay.
I'm a little tired of the militant vegans who are always coming after meat eaters.
Question: military vegans? 'Cause I would be- I am-
Militant. No.
Just kidding.
Militant. The ones who start
With meat as murder,
screaming
that's where they
and
start,
yelling and talking to you like you're the worst person on earth. It's a bad strategy. We're all sort of sick of it, the people who eat meat. Why do some people approach it that way? It doesn't work.
That's kind of old school vegan propaganda, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, the meat is murder hand jammed sign. No, that hasn't gotten anyone to change.
It just makes people kind of,
exactly.
Let me ask
dig
you,
in.
Because I think every person, every individual has a different motivation for the choice they make to become vegan or any other choice.
Well, there's
What's
actually
yours?
three main reasons why people would choose a vegan lifestyle. Number one, you want to do better for the planet. It's obviously shown with global warming that the meat industry, it contributes to pollution, and it's definitely heating up our planet. Number two, you care about animals. You don't see the reason to eat an animal when you can eat just about anything else. And lastly, for your health, we have a 30% less chance of getting cardiac disease. I'm an RN. I work on a cardiac floor with veterans. And yeah, it's almost a 1-to-1 correlation. Their diet is literally killing them.
Right. Now
for
your
the-
personal choice to
Roger, for
what
me-
what brought you to veganism?
Thank you very much for asking that question. So I actually went vegetarian as a joke for Lent in 1992.
Well, that
And-
lasted a while. You win.
So yeah, so I went just as a way to tick off my parents because I was a punk rock kid,
Yeah.
pre-military, and from there, and people were like, "Oh, you're probably gonna die if you haven't eaten meat for 5 minutes. Like meat is oxygen somehow." And as a punk rock kid, I was like, you know what? Let me just see what happens. I want to just defy this idea. And I actually got healthy. I felt great. I was a college wrestler at that point.
It started with you being insubordinate, though. That's really
Exactly.
what
It started with
a rebellion.
All right, quick
Rebellion.
question.
yes, sir.
So I think it's a little twisted.
Yes.
Explain this to me that people keep trying to come up with ways to make things that look like meat out of plants. I mean, what is the attraction to a vegan to eat something that appears to be meat but isn't meat? It still seems to call to their worst sense.
So
I've been trying to make
I'm
what?
actually I'm actually originally from Philadelphia,
Yeah.
not Mars. So I grew up eating pasta, part Italian pasta with vegetables on the side, but sausage and stuff like that.
Sure.
So when I think comfort food, I think what I grew up with, and I want something like that. I want
But is
fried chicken. I want stuff.
Okay,
like
but
that.
isn't that sort of a dissonant sort of thing in your head? You're like, I'm craving something that looks and tastes like meat, but I'm not eating meat.
Well, you're
It's a little
craving-
psychotic.
You're craving
That's not right.
You're craving something from your childhood. For example.
Well, that's your theory.
For-
I don't know if I buy that.
For example, prior service, prior military, I'll play video games. I enjoy going through and Call of Duty, and I don't really want to
That's-
shoot anybody.
That's a theory.
Not really.
That is a theory.
That's fair.
But we all have comfort foods. We all have things we like still, even though we're vegan. And we like to go back to those times.
Well, I
but we
think
don't want to add the
but-
cruelty
but-
to it.
But why not set a better example and not even go after like impossible meat and all that stuff? Just make the example that, no, I'm perfectly happy with plants and avocados and peaches.
So besides the comfort food angle, one of the main reasons that came about is a lot of people are interested in trying healthy, and they're just like, hey, you're not going to sell me with this tofu and rice nonsense. So they're like,
So it's a
okay,
bait and switch?
well, not a bait and
Well,
switch.
no, but it is bait.
But they're specifically saying, hey, you can have something that tastes like a burger, and it's
Uh-huh.
not going to destroy the planet, it's not going to ruin your health, and it's
Now-
not going to hurt
But
animals.
it doesn't change their head.
Let me.
I don't know. A little bit less of the hearts and minds things. We're just trying to practically help people make a change that's better for their health and a little bit better for the planet. And if it accidentally hurts the animals too, I mean, how's that a bad thing?
Are you,
16 minutes after 8.
Corey and Patrick? How are you?
We're talking to Sergeant Vegan, who is in town for a couple of appearances. Where are those happening?
So we're going to be at Blue Sage tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. And wait,
You got a presentation you're going to do
got
there?
a presentation. We'll be
Right.
talking about being vegan in the military, answering any questions about, I'm sure, where do you
Right.
get your protein,
So-
that kind
And,
of stuff.
and you have a second appearance.
Well,
That was last night.
Oh, that was last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you down with cricket juice?
I was
Cricket
going to
juice.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
So, so what
That's
you're
what they
asking
do.
is they blend up crickets.
Well, they juice.
Well, it wasn't our idea.
I didn't do it,
They is you.
but it's the new protein.
They is me.
They
protein
is,
wonder
is,
drink.
is you.
How did Sergeant Vegan come up with this? I can't believe it. No. You don't need to drink crickets. Luckily, there are many other options. There's almost an inexhaustible amount of
Yeah.
options to eat.
Now, just as a just to be contrarian here,
Okay,
Sergeant
hit me
Vegan.
with it.
So, I know we talk about saving animals, but the more plants you grow, there are entire ecosystems that get wiped out to grow plants. I mean, you have to. That's just how it works. And if you consider all being sentient, then a cricket is as valuable as a cow, right?
No, cricket's
Why?
not as valuable
Why?
as a cow, and I don't think you're really wiping out.
No,
anything.
it's proven. I mean, you wipe out lots of insect life, lots of small rodents, things like that to do so, and most of the time you're going to have to use some kind of pest repellent as well. So there is kind of a trade-off there.
Well, everything is a trade-off. I mean, the bigger our population grows, the more we're going to have to intrude into like wildlife area and build more houses. Would I advocate for not building more houses? No,
Right.
and we're
Wait. You don't want more houses either?
No, I'm not arguing for not having more houses.
No, he's saying he
I'm
would.
saying,
argue.
yeah, more houses. I'm not against humans.
Right.
I work to keep humans alive. I'm a registered nurse.
Well, Daniel is, because he used to bring in Pete all the time. They want all humans to die, right?
No.
Well, Patrick, to
Yeah.
answer your question, like what you're getting to is like animals are going to die making vegan food. Is what you're getting to.
Well, I'm saying that it's kind of a trade-off if we consider all life.
Well, as a vegan, we try to do the least amount of harm. We know we might get an insect part in a can of string beans, for example, but you got to figure we feed most of the food we grow to the food we eat. So, if you're talking about the crickets, you're going to actually kill more crickets eating meat because you're feeding those plants to the animals you're going to eat later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're killing the animals after that.
Right.
So if you're, especially
Well, I
if
can't
you-
eat them alive, Sergeant Vegan.
you could. That if you were actual carnivore, you would be eating the
Well,
animal
I'm not
alive. You
a
would run
T-Rex.
after it and kind of munch on
I
a
do
gazelle
have
or
kind of
something.
short limbs,
Well,
but I'm not a
we
T-Rex.
we've brought in a lot of articles over the past few years where people are suggesting that we need to eat bugs, and every time somebody tells me that, I retreat back into my meat freezer.
Yeah, you don't need to eat bugs. That's obviously ridiculous.
Well, we
There's-
know that.
there's
We
80
know
No,
that.
I'm not eating.
But
them.
I mean,
we
this
well,
was-
you did try crickets.
We
once.
did. We tried it in the studio. I
It's the
couldn't get,
worst thing.
couldn't
Legs
get
in
the
your teeth are
legs out of
terrible.
my
My
teeth.
teeth,
Oh,
yeah, kind
terrible.
of like
Yeah.
when you have an everything bagel. And
So you
get
see
the
what's
sesame seeds
you
in
see
it.
what's occurred here.
Yeah.
We have been beat down so much by the militant vegans that we are now basically dug in, where it's like there's almost nobody who can convince us anymore that you guys are on our side, because all we ever hear is you can't do this, you can't do that, you're a terrible human being, and you should die first.
Well, I
Yeah,
do
That's
kind
what
of-
we.
that's what
That's
they
the
do,
articles
yeah.
we bring in.
I do kind of feel like at times that not just vegan. I think you have to combine really the environmental folks and those who are vegan. Sometimes
true.
they cross over
They're-
the same.
they're all
But
cool,
it does
yeah.
make me feel like I'm the least wanted thing on the planet. And I'm kind of like, I'm an animal too, guys. I mean, I'd like to live. Be all right if I could, if you don't mind.
It's very hard to see past your cause to the other person. Sometimes people get kind of in this like bubble where they're so passionate about something, they care so much about it, whether it's politics, whether it's religion, whether it's in this case veganism and saving the planet. They care so much that they don't care enough, unfortunately, to talk to the person who they're talking to as a person.
Now, one other thing that I just wanted to bring up is I know that you were promoting the health benefits of veganism, and I understand that red meat particularly can be heart challenging,
Yeah,
but I've
that's a good way
also
to put it.
seen a lot of people who a vegan diet has not been good for them, and they've had a real suffering, especially kids with that, where they've like protein and all kinds of things. I mean, so there can be those who don't fare well
So
with it.
thank you very much for bringing that up. You can do anything right and you can do anything wrong. So Oreos are vegan and so is water and so is Sprite. But if you just ate Sprite or drank Sprite and ate Oreos, you would be unhealthy. And most everyone would know that, except the people that are like, oh, I don't know what I could eat, that kind of thing. Which I think anyone that's taken a nutrition class or, basically just followed your parents' advice, oh, eat your vegetables.
Yeah.
And then you just very easily substitute whatever meat product you're having for a comparable vegan version or comparable, let's use the more socially acceptable plant-based option. I think that's going to be a very easy way to do it, and you don't really have to think and fuss. As long
Damn,
as
I
you get
wish
enough
green
calories,
beans tasted like hamburgers.
as long as you get enough calories, you're going to be fine.
And you've never seen anybody in a hospital for a protein deficiency, to be honest with you.
Well,
No.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen people remove children from families because they were emaciated.
Yeast-
But now I'm not going to blame solely the vegan. But that's
but
what
if
they
you-
said.
It's child abuse if you don't feed your kids enough calories. And
Yeah.
if you're just like, hey, well, this is vegan, it's an apple, let me just give you this for your entire meal. No, that's not good.
Well, I'll give you this. If there was ever a time for somebody to cut back on meat, it's right now because of inflation.
There you go.
So you guys have a message that is timed well right now. Whether or not people want to do it, I don't know. I think it's tough to totally transition if you enjoy ribs. I mean, this is Arkansas. I mean, you talk about ribs and barbecue and everything else.
You know what? If I were going to be a vegan champion, just me personally, I don't think my message would be, I want you to leave behind everything you love and go vegan. I think it would be, can you meet me in the middle and maybe 2 days a week, 3 days a week, do that?
Well, start with
and,
one.
And
Yeah.
just kind of move towards that if possible.
I'm
or
just
help
not-
a little bit.
I'm just really not motivated to do it.
Well, I'm not either.
I mean,
but
I'm enjoying talking to you, but
Yeah.
it's not going to really change.
I would say look
my
at your
attitude
cholesterol
today.
numbers next time when you.
I just did the other day.
Yeah?
We're fine.
Okay.
I mean, I'm okay. But I mean, that may not be the story with other people. I'm not
Statins.
suggesting that. I'm just saying I'm just not that. I'm not motivated to do it. I mean, I enjoy the conversation.
There you go.
But I'm getting really tired of everything being tied to climate change. It's ridiculous.
Corey, let me give you another benefit. There's the benefit of male enhancement with the vegan diet as
There
well.
you go. Blood flow.
And
my
how-
friend. Blood flow.
Okay, point us to some studies on that. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, well, we can. I mean, if you just look it up. Basically,
Really, we're going there.
so
You'll have a bigger crotch.
Well,
You'll have
my
a bigger
blood flow
crotch
is-
animal if you go vegan.
Not bigger,
That's
but-
where we ended up today.
Yeah.
Forget the health.
Hey, sex
benefits.
sells, guys. That's why we're
Forget
here.
that.
That's a good self.
Better sex. Now there's a point.
If your
That's a
heart's
good
not
self.
pumping, you're not going to have blood circulating. And you think about the people with the
okay.
constricted arteries and stuff like that. You don't want
No,
constricted artery flowing the blood down there.
No, I get it.
I give you this. You're a compelling spokesperson. You're doing
fun.
good work for them.
You're fun. It's
you
good.
have good answers. I don't agree with everything,
Well,
but
we're
I
not
respect
supposed
what
to,
you're
you know?
doing, and I respect the way you approach it.
All right.
So I'll say that.
One more time. Tonight, where?
Yeah, we're going to be at Blue Sage Vegan Bistro in the River Market from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Is that a vegan place? By the way?
Yeah, it's
Is
one
it?
of the stalls in the River Market.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, that makes sense.
And could I just say,
Yeah.
thank you to everyone for listening. If you're interested, check me out on the internet. All social media, sergeantvegan.com. That's sgtvegan.com.
I like how you
Thanks a
said
lot for
that.
coming up.
Thank you.